Joining us from Edinburgh is the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, the Cabinet Office Chief, Pat McFadden. A very good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Firstly, Mr McFadden, love your reaction to the GDP data, 0.2% growth in the month of August. Not bad?
Look, you should never place too much emphasis on 1 month's growth or 1 quarter's growth, but it's good to see the economy growing. Without that, it's very difficult for the country to progress. Economic growth is absolutely central to what we want to achieve. And through that, through the kind of investments we're announcing here in Edinburgh today, we've got £24 billion worth of new investments in the energy sector, in projects all around the country that will contribute to that economic growth, that will create good jobs for people, make the country stronger, generate prosperity, and that generates the wealth that we need for our public services too. So we absolutely need economic growth and investment.
I was going through your press release about the new investment, and I was trying to pass through the extent to which the £24 billion figure was all new investment. You just said it was new investment, so every single pound of that is new today?
Yeah, let me give you a bit of a breakdown. So Iberdrola, who are the parent company of Scottish Power here in Scotland, they were previously going to invest £12 billion over the next few years. They're doubling that to 24. There's £8 billion from Greenvolt. There's more from a company called Ørsted. There's investment in battery storage. There's investment in a new wind turbine plant in the north of England. So these are projects all around the country from private companies, and they're a vote of confidence in the economic prospects of the United Kingdom. In fact, the chief executive of Iberdrola said that the UK is now their principal destination for investment, even over and above, this is a Spanish-owned company, even over and above Spain, their homeland. So between these investments and more that will be announced in a major international investment summit on Monday, investors around the world are looking at the UK, seeing a stable government, seeing a stable situation, and stepping up to invest in the future of the UK. And it's all good news because it makes the country stronger and it generates the wealth that we need.
I'm interested, Mr McFadden, that you're using the £24 billion number as a flat, guaranteed figure, because your own press release this morning says up to £24 billion of new investment, and you quote the Iberdrola executive chairman there. His own quote says they're increasing their investment from up to 12 to up to £24 billion. So what's the lower bound? What's the guaranteed minimum?
Well, that's his target. As I said, there's been an announcement of £8 billion and £2.5 billion from Greenvolt and Ørsted and some other investments in the hundreds of millions.
Sorry to interrupt, I know, particularly when we're down the line. Labour's press release says up to £24 billion. All of these companies combined. What's the lower bound? What's the guaranteed minimum that you're announcing today?
I don't know that there is a lower band as such. You have to go with what it says on the press release. This is what the companies have announced that their intentions are. It's a vote of confidence in the UK that they're doing it. It will generate good jobs all around the country. I very much welcome it. And it won't be the last investments that we'll see, because we've got this major investment summit coming on Monday.
So it could be zero.
Several hundred global investors who are coming here to see that the UK is open for business, and I hope we have more such announcements in the coming days.
So do I, but could it be zero? If there's no lower bound, it's just up to £24 billion?
No, it won't be zero, because some of these companies are already investing in the UK as well, so we will definitely see more than zero.
Well, we hope so. It'd be nice if there wasn't even limited to 24 with these moving bounds. Anyway, we should move on. Obviously, a lot of focus to come on the budget as well, which will seriously influence all of these investment decisions. A lot of talk today about the possibility of increasing capital gains tax. Put aside all of the pressures on the public finances. In principle, Do you think that capital gains tax, currently between 20 and 24%, depending on what particular assets, should be closer to the levels of income tax, which obviously go up to 45%?
Well, sadly, we can't put aside all the pressures on the public finances. I wish we could, but we don't have the luxury of doing that. We inherited a very difficult situation where the public finances were not under control. And the previous government knew about this. They had, for example, pay offers for teachers lying on the Secretary of State for Education's desk, didn't tell the voters during the election, didn't tell the public, and we have to clean it up now and sort it out. So we can't just leave it aside. With regard to the budget and all the speculation, including the measure you're asking me about there, the budget's not for another few weeks. And sadly, I predict that there'll be speculation about all sorts of budget measures over the next few weeks. And the only sensible answer I can give you on all of them, including that one, is that the Chancellor will make her announcements when she stands up to give the budget. And it's not sensible for me or any other minister to get drawn into speculation about things that are in the newspapers that might be there or might not be.
Well, I can understand your response to that, Mr. McFadden, and I can assure you there will be speculation. I'm sure we'll be fueling it, as you would also expect. It's going to be fascinating. You're there, obviously, for this gathering of the Council of the Regions. The special envoy for the regions, Sue Gray, isn't there. Is that right? Why is that?
Look, Sue's been through quite a lot in the last few weeks. I worked with her. She's a great colleague. She's taken a short break now, and I think we should allow her the time and privacy to do that.
What's this all meant for you personally as Minister for Cabinet Office? So you've clearly got a pseudo Chief of Staff role anyway. There's no Chief of Staff, there's no PPS, there's an outgoing head of the Civil Service. Has it been madness for you, your workload?
I'm not the Chief of Staff. We do have a PPS. Her name is Min Panda, an excellent civil servant. I run the Cabinet Office, which is adjacent to number 10. I don't run number 10. And we've got a new Chief of Staff in Morgan McSweeney. So we're a new government. The Prime Minister had to make a few changes. He's appointed a new Chief of Staff and a new PPS. And I think that will put us on a good footing going forward. So we've got some good news today. I hope there's more good news at the Investment Summit in a couple of days. And whatever the headlines one way or another in the newspaper, the most important thing is that we have a good budget that puts the country on a more stable footing, that gets this investment going and gets us more good jobs, more prosperity, and makes the country stronger. And that's the government's job, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mr. McFadden, great to see you. Thank you for joining us.